The more NSFW games release, the more we see Puritans on social media screech about how these titles shouldn't exist, how the themes are inappropriate and unacceptable, and a new, very NSFW game is releasing on the Nintendo Switch soon called Massage Freaks, and there have been many people fighting back against the release of this game, claiming it's so disgusting Nintendo should ban it from their platform immediately. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I initially found out about this situation on Twitter, and I am going to reference a bunch of tweets, but I wanted to start with this comicbook.com article. It says, new Nintendo Switch game may be its most NSFW yet. A new Nintendo Switch Lite, and Nintendo Switch OLED game coming to the Nintendo eShop may be the console's most NSFW game yet. There was a time when Nintendo was very strict with what it allowed to release on its various hardware, largely to ensure it maintained its family-friendly image with consumers. For whatever reason, it's taken the complete opposite approach with the Nintendo Switch. In fact, it's become so loose with what can be released on the eShop that games that have been censored or banned from other platforms have released on the console unscathed. And this brings us to today. You guys know I talk about censorship a lot on this channel, and a lot of the time we're talking about Nintendo because Nintendo has done very good over the past few years. On August 4th, priced at $27.99, a game called Massage Freaks will release. According to an official description from the developer, it's a rhythm game where you massage cuties. If that quick descriptor sounds like it's for a lewd game, it's because it is. It says it's a rhythm game where you massage cuties, play the rhythm game to work out the kinks in these beauties' bodies, reads an official description of the game. Now, this to me doesn't sound very out of this world, so inappropriate, it deserves to be banned. It just sounds like another game that utilizes Switch touchscreen features, and it happens to be a game about massaging waifus, anime girls, cuties, whatever you want to call them. Now that you know some of the general details about this game, I wanted to talk about Twitter and the social media backlash that this game has actually faced. I found out about the situation through this Famitsu post, and it talks about the title of the game, how it will be released on August 4th, the general details that I've already gone through, and it does show a few different screenshots of the game. I think that it looks pretty good. It looks like it's going to be a pretty solid game, and of course there are a lot of people who are very excited for it, who are optimistic about this release, but there are a lot of people who are saying very disgusting things about this game, how it deserves to be banned, how it shouldn't be created, and how these developers should even be canceled for coming up with this idea. Now, as you can see, it's gotten a lot of interaction, over 8,000 retweets, over 5,300 quote tweets, and 16,000 likes. And like I mentioned, there is some positivity here. Not everyone is being very negative about this, but there are a lot of negative posts still. Going to just a few of the comments, the quote tweets. A lot of it is in Japanese, so we have to use the translated from Japanese by Google Translate, which isn't always the best thing to rely on, but it's better than having nothing here. Here is a prime example of what individuals are saying on Twitter about this game. Hello everyone, I present you this new game. You will be a masseuse sex offender and enjoy sex crimes in this game. Do you like this game? Now, I have absolutely no clue how these people are coming to this conclusion that in this game you are committing, these types of crimes and you're this type of criminal. I have absolutely no clue how they're coming up with that, besides it's an NSFW lewd massage game. We're talking about fictional characters in a fictional video game here. We're not talking about a game depicting real women. I mean, at the end of the day, this is just a video game with fake characters. There are people who are trying to claim that if you actually play this game, you're a criminal. There are people who are saying if you actually play this game, you're a terrible person. You're an awful individual who would support awful developers. I mean, people are going a bit crazy over this title. On this channel, I've also talked a lot about different studies that have released, primarily about how video games do not cause real-world violence, and even a newer study that destroyed the narrative that sexualized games cause misogyny and sexism. That video will be linked down below in case you do want to check it out for yourself. But these people are going on this narrative that sexualized content in games makes you, a terrible person, and it causes misogyny and sexism when that is not the case. The next post says how, it's a game where the player's giving massages to overly sexualized young girls on the Switch. Hope it's R-rated at least. It's disgusting though, and this does have a 0D rating, which means it's for mature audiences. We are not talking about a game here that is marketed towards younger audiences that would be seen as acceptable for younger audiences. It does have a proper rating, therefore there shouldn't be a problem with it. Clearly only adults are playing this. Why can't adults just play the types of games that they want? Of course, I've also talked about Nintendo a lot on the channel. There was a time where Nintendo was extremely strict with content releasing on their platforms. They hated their family-friendly image being tarnished in any way and used to refuse games exactly like this, but now it's Sony and Valve who are censoring games like this, forcing developers to alter their titles or else they get banned. And while Nintendo over the past few years has had a few instances of censorship, they have stayed very consistent, and that's what matters the most to me, that they're giving consumers what they want 99 times out of 100. It's why I purchased a Switch at launch and then the OLED at launch. I really do love Nintendo. I think that they have taken very good steps over the past few years, and they, as far as we know, do not plan to ban this game from their platform even after this outrage, which is what a lot of people are praising them for. There are a lot of people who are saying, hopefully Nintendo doesn't change their mind because of this outrage. I don't think that they will, but there's always a small chance that they could. If that happens, I will definitely talk about it. But right now, this is scheduled to release on August 4th. And of course, there are people who are demanding that Nintendo ban it. What would these people expect from a massage game? I mean, seriously. Do you think that it's a fully clothed massage simulator where if you touch a little bit too close to breasts, you get a sexual harassment lawsuit sent your way? Maybe a nice little Blizzard entertainment simulator over here? I mean, when you hear about a massage game, you expect to be massaging characters, and I don't think a game like this existing is a problem. I don't think it deserves to get banned. I don't think the developers should be attacked over this, but like I mentioned, there are a few people online who are furious over this game's release. I personally do plan to pick it up when it finally launches. I am going to support these developers, and maybe I'll even stream it if I get a chance. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.